the actual date, which is in 2024. So, but closer towards the middle and end of the movie, it's at the viewpoint of the moon. So you're on the moon looking at the Earth, and you can see this sunrise happening. So what you can tell is it's actually a lunar eclipse, because a lunar eclipse is when the Earth is in between the sun and the moon. So the moon is on this side, the sun's on this side, and in the middle is the Earth. There is an emergency broadcast that talks about when all these events are going to happen. It's on September 17th.
Okay guys, as you guys just seen that video of the 17th, which is today, that was from Leave the World Behind. The reason that's significant is because a lot of other watchmen that have never spoken up about celestial signs or events have been, and they've been given a lot of confirmations, especially about the two moons, who's going to be here for 15 days, which many of us have had dreams about that. And then we have the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. It's the blood moon, and we know in the Bible it specifically tells us about that. So now this was sent to me, this information. A very new technology. Syria hospitals in Beirut are full of hundreds hurt. Okay, Lebanese sources intel reports indicate that Israel was able to hack into communication devices, and it's used by Hezbollah members and blow them up. So without having communications, they're going to be able to go in and sneak another attack. And then there are two fronts in Lebanon and Syria against Hezbollah and the Houthis in Yemen that are about to be open full blown. This will lead to all other proxies of Iran joining in a unified attack on 7 fronts against Israel, and what will be the fulfillment of the Psalm 83 multi-front war. And we know before the bombs come down, we go up, or simultaneously. A lot of people right now in America have not prepared for anything. They don't even know half of the news that's going on over in Israel. And it's not because nobody's told them, or they're just not paying attention to the news. That's not it. It is literally because they believe that because it's over there, it'll never come here, because it doesn't affect us. But the people don't understand that this war is going to affect America. America has to fall so God can focus on Israel. Okay, because we know that is what the time of Jacob's trouble means. And so I was talking to a friend today, Jen, and she ended up helping me because I've had a bad day, a bad few days actually. And so she prayed with me, and one thing that she was talking about was the Psalm codes. Do you guys know what the Psalm codes is? It's about how like Psalm 120 in the year 2020 is when C19 hit. And so it talks about that. We would have never known it was going to be that, because that was like a sneak attack on a lot of us. I know that we've had dreams of pestilence and plagues and things like that. We just didn't know what it would be called, how it would affect us, and so on and so forth. And so, like, going in for every year in the code of Psalm, it talks about for what's happened that year. Now, being led to Psalm 124, I do have to read you this because this is absolutely fitting. And it says, "If it had not been the Lord who is on your side, let Israel now say, if it had not been the Lord who is on our side, when men rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us alive when their wrath was kindled against us." And there's a semicolon. Okay, and we see that this is also referring to the war and stuff. Israel, no matter what, is going to get surrounded. This is a war that they're going to win, but then it's going to get too big because all other sides are going to be against them, attacking them and taking over their city. But we know that God, what he does is this next part. Then the waters would have overwhelmed us. The stream would have gone over our soul. Okay, it doesn't say over our body, it says soul. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Then the swollen waters would have gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, who has not given us as prey to their teeth. Our soul has escaped as a bird from the snare of the fowlers. Semicolon. The snare is broken and we have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. This is extremely important because this is exactly what is going to happen with Israel. Just like in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and even in Revelation 12, the second part of the fulfillment is when they flee unto the mountains from the grip of Satan. The baby's getting ready to be born. We've all dreamt about it. We've all seen these signs, all these events that have now been put into place. We are literally about on the cusp of the biggest event ever getting ready to occur. I don't know the day or hour. I know that it's any day. Now, that scripture led me to Psalm 91:3, and it says, surely he shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. Your truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. This stuff is just absolutely amazing, because this is just telling us that God promises to ransom us. Revelation 3:10 tells us that God is going to keep us from the wrath that shall come upon the whole earth. Now, what is coming against America, I do not believe is all over the world. I believe that war that kicks off to bring in the Antichrist is that. But America's going to get destroyed because we're Mystery Babylon. Now, it's not going to get wiped off, annihilated, but it's going to be broken up in several different parts, and it's going to be overtaken. The other thing that I want to say, which is biblical, or not biblical, excuse me, I don't want to say that, which is truth. I posted an article about how September 15th, the government is going to start sending out letters for the draft for 18 to 26-year-olds. Well, I know without a shadow of a doubt that was not false, because my daughter's boyfriend is getting ready to be 18 December 26th, and he just got a call yesterday to go into the Guard. And by age 17, they are allowed to take you. But it also has to be a consent with his parents. And my nephews, they have received one. And a friend of mine, her grandson, who's 18, also received his letter from the government. And you have to fill it out and send it in. Now, I don't know what type of exemption, what type of people they're going to accept and not, but I know that they are drafting people for this war. And what's going to happen is America is not going to be covered. And there is Russian submarines, and Iranian that has covered America right now, ships over the United States. So I know that we are engulfed, and I know that this stuff that's happening is true. Just like over in Texas, they had the biggest earthquake, the 5th one that they've had in history. So, and it's coming, and the fault lines are getting ready to erupt. And over in Canada, they had big wildfire, and they also had massive earthquake that hit up there as well. We have volcanic activity, we have seismic activity, we have the northern lights, we have all of it. All of it is set into motion because God is twisting everything, getting it prepared so Satan can have his 42 months. You want to do what you want? I wash my hands of you, Satan. 42 months. At 42 months, Jesus returns, steps his foot on the Mount of Olives. Boom. So, we're here, guys. Pray over this as always, and I'll see you there in the air. God bless.